Angry reactions. The most common resistance one gets from the outside is anger. People who get angry at others for setting boundaries have a character problem. Self centered, they think the world exists for them and their comfort. They see others as extensions of themselves. When they hear no, they have the same reaction a 2-year old has when deprived of something. Bad mommy. They feel as though the one who deprives them of their wishes is bad, and they become angry. They are not righteously angry at a real offense. Nothing has been done to them at all. Someone will not do something for them. Their wish is being frustrated, and they get angry because they have not learned to delay gratification or to respect others' freedom. Proverbs 19, verse 19. Angry people have a character problem. If you reinforce their character problem, it will return tomorrow and the next day in other situations. It is not the situation that's making them angry, but the feeling that they are entitled to something, uh, to things from others. They want to control others, and as a result, they have no control over themselves. So when they lose their wished for control over someone, they lose it. They get angry. The first thing you need to learn is that the person who is angry at you for setting boundaries is the one with the problem. If you do not realize this, you may think you have a problem. Maintaining your boundaries is good for other people. It will help them learn what their families of origin did not teach them to respect other people. Second, you must view anger realistically. Anger is not a feeling inside the other person. It cannot jump across the room and hurt you. It cannot get inside you unless you allow it. Staying separate from another's anger is vitally important. Let the anger be in the other person. He will have to feel his anger to get better. If you either rescue him from it or take it on yourself, the angry person will not get better and you will be in bondage. Third, do not let anger be a cue for you to do something. People without boundaries respond automatically to the anger of others. They rescue, seek approval, or get angry themselves. There is great power in inactivity. Do not let an out of control person be the cue for you to change your course. Just allow them to be angry and decide for yourself what you need to do. Fourth, make sure you have your support system in place. If you are going to set some limits with a person who has controlled you with anger, talk to the people in your support system first and make a plan. Know what you will uh, know what you will say. Anticipate what the angry person will say, and plan your reaction. You may even want to role play the situation with your group. Then make sure your support group will be available to you right after the confrontation. Perhaps some members of your support group can go with you, but certainly you will need them afterward to keep you from crumbling under the pressure. Fifth, do not allow the angry person to get you angry. Keep a loving stance while speaking the truth in love. When we get caught up in the eye of the storm, when we get caught up in the eye for an eye mentality of the law, or the returning evil for evil mentality of the world, we will be in bondage. If we have boundaries, we will be separate enough to love. Sixth, be prepared to use physical distance and other limits that enforce consequences. When one woman's life was changed when she realized that she could say, I will not allow myself to be yelled at. I will go into the other room until you decide you can talk about this without verbally attacking me and raising your voice. When you can do that, I will talk to you. These serious steps do not need to be taken with anger. You can emphasize lovingly and stay in the conversation without giving in or being controlled. I understand that you are upset that I will not do that for you. I am sorry you feel that way. How can I help? Just remember that when you emphasize, changing your no will not help. Offer other options. If you keep your boundaries, those who are angry at you will have to learn self-control for the first time instead of other control, which has been destructive to them anyway. When they no longer have control over you, they will find a different way to relate. But as long as they can control you with their anger, they will not change. The hard truth is that sometimes they will not talk to you anymore, or they will leave the relationship if they can no longer control you. This is a true risk. God takes this risk every day. He says that he will only do things the right way, that he will not participate in evil. And when people choose their own ways, he lets them go. Sometimes we have to do the same. Guilt messages. A man telephoned his mother, and she answered the phone very weakly, with hardly any voice at all. Concerned, thinking she was sick, he asked her, Mother, what's wrong? I guess my voice doesn't work very well anymore, she replied. No one ever calls me since you children left home. No weapon in the arsenal of the controlling person is as strong as the guilt message. People with poor boundaries always internalize guilt messages leveled at them. They obey guilt inducing statements that try to make them feel bad. Consider these. How could you do this to me after all I've done for you? It seems that you could think about someone other than yourself for once. If you really loved me, you would make this telephone call for me. It seems like you would care enough about the family to do this one thing. How can you abandon the family like this? You know how it's turned out in the past when you haven't listened to me. After all, you never had to lift a finger around here. It seems like it's time for you did. You know that if I had it, I would give it to you. You have no idea how much we sacrificed for you. Maybe after I'm dead and gone, you'll be sorry. Sometimes guilt manipulation comes dressed up in God talk. How can you call yourself a Christian? Doesn't the Bible say, honor your parents? You're not being very submissive. I'm sure that grieves the Lord. I thought Christians were supposed to think of others. What kind of religion would teach you to abandon your own family? You must really have a spiritual problem to be acting this way. People who say these things are trying to make you feel guilty about your choices. They are trying to make you feel bad about deciding how you will spend your own time or resources, about growing up and separating from your parents, or about having a life separate from a friend or spiritual leader. Remember the landowner's words in the parable of the worker in the vineyard. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money. Matthew 20, verse 15. The Bible says that we are to give and not be self centered. It does not say that we have to give whatever anyone wants from us. We are in control of our giving. Probably everyone is able to some degree to recognize guilt messages when they hear them. But if you feel bad about your boundaries, maybe you have not looked specifically at the ones your family or other people are using. Here are a few steps or a few tips about dealing with these external messages. Number one, recognize guilt messages. Some people swallow guilt messages without seeing how controlling they are. Be open to rebuking and feedback. You need to know when you are being self centered, but guilt messages are not given for your growth and good. They are given to manipulate and control. Number two, guilt messages are really anger in disguise. The guilt sender, the guilt senders are failing to openly admit their anger at you for what you are doing, probably because that would expose how controlling they really are. They would rather focus on you and your behavior than on how they feel. Focusing on their feelings would get them too close to responsibility. Number three, guilt messages hide sadness and hurt. Instead of exposing and owning these feelings, people try to steer and focus uh, onto you what you are doing. Recognize that guilt messages are sometimes an expression of a person's sadness, hurt, or need. Number four, if guilt works on you, recognize that this is your problem and not theirs. Realize where the real problem is inside, then you will be able to deal with the outside correctly, with love and limits. If you continue to blame other people for making you feel guilty, they still have power over you. And you are saying that you will only feel good when they stop doing that. You are giving them control over your life. Stop blaming other people. Number five, do not explain or justify. Often guilty children do that. This is only playing into their message. You do not owe guilt senders an explanation. Just tell what you have chosen. If you want to tell them why you made a certain decision to help them understand, this is okay. If you wish to get them to not to make you feel bad or to resolve your guilt, you're playing into their guilt trap. Number six, be assertive and interpret their messages as being about their feelings. It sounds like you are angry that I chose to. It sounds like you are sad that I will not. I understand that you are very unhappy about what I have decided to do. I'm sorry you feel that way. I realize this is disappointing to you. How can I help? It's hard for you when I have other things to do, isn't it? The main principle is this: emphasize with the distress people are feeling, but make it clear that it is their distress. Remember, love and limits are the only clear boundaries. If you react, you have lost your boundaries. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self control. Proverbs 25, verse 28. If, if other people have the power to get you to react, they are inside your walls, inside your boundaries. Stop reacting, be proactive, give empathy, Sound like life is hard right now. Sounds like life is hard right now. Tell me about it. Sometimes people who give guilt messages just want to tell someone how hard it is. Be a listener, but don't take the blame. Remember the mother who tried to make her son feel guilty. A man with good boundaries would emphasize with his mother. Sounds like you are feeling lonely, Mom. He would make sure she understands that he hears the feelings beneath the guilt message.